I am mute.
You work in film and TV?
Me? Yeah, yeah, I do. I do. Yeah, I work in. Who asked that question? I'm so sorry.
I am
Oh, Maurice.
Maurice.
Maurice, do you work in film and TV as well?
Independent filmmaker outside of film. I don't work it full time. Let's just say I did freelancing here and there, but I would say freelancing, that's the wrong way. Temporary.
Okay, we're
But
good to go here. So I'm going to ask you guys just to maybe continue your chat later. Good evening, everybody.
Okay.
I'm glad that everyone's here. We've got a good crowd coming in, both on YouTube and here. So that's wonderful. We've got an exciting program lined up for you this evening. And oh, we've got somebody else coming in, and Daryl is coming in too. Good. Okay, Daryl. I'll activate everybody in just a minute. But anyway, Daryl, welcome to the chat tonight. Glad to have you here. I'm glad everybody could make it. And let's see, who else is here? We've got, of course, Danielle's here. Scott, glad you could make it. David, I'm happy you're
Hi.
here. And Gabriel, happy you're here. Scott and Jocelyn. Oh, Jocelyn, I'm so happy to have you here. Jocelyn, I think not everybody, but some of these people have been former students of mine.
Hi, Jocelyn.
Maurice and Steve. Wonderful. Okay, we've got a good crowd. That's I like to see that. That is fantastic. So I just wanted to talk before we get started. I know that um, Danielle has a rich presentation. I want to make sure she has all the time she needs in order to be able to present it. So consequently, I'm going to go through this very quickly. And one of the things that I do want to talk about is next Wednesday night, I've got Daryl to do, and he's going to be talking about his experience in photographing these tremendous Lake Erie waves that come through, and he's going to tell us the experience, tell us how he does it, tell us how he does it without getting drowned or wet or anything. Well, maybe wet, but yeah, that's going to be fantastic. But tonight we have Danielle Blancher. She's going to be talking about her experiences in her photographic journey, if I can call it that. And I just wanted to talk a little bit about Danielle, but we'll do that in just a second. Anyway, I'm going to introduce to you right now Danielle. Danielle, welcome to the chat. I'm glad you're here.
Hi.
Yeah,
How's it going? How's it
fantastic.
going? How's it going?
Yeah.
Thank you so much for
She,
having me. Thank you.
Oh,
Thank
listen,
you.
it's my pleasure, and I'm so happy that you accepted the invitation to come on this chat. Um, I'm always looking for dynamic speakers and who have had good experiences in the photography field, but not just good experiences, maybe some bad ones that you can talk about how you overcame those and what your philosophy on photography is. And I'm just going to do a little bit of looking down here because I don't have my teleprompter up and working right now. But Danielle is based in Hamilton, and she's a photo and video producer. Uh, and she does top quality photos for and videos for businesses in the Hamilton area as well as abroad. And uh, these photographs and these videos are used by her clients for promotional purposes and marketing and so on. So if you're a photographer or if you're a student of photography, this is the place to be because I'm going to let Danielle take it away right now. She's going to tell you a little bit about what she's going to be presenting and just so that you get familiar with the upcoming presentation. So go ahead, Danielle, take it away.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Thanks for that introduction. That was really cool. Yeah, so my name is Danielle. I live in Hamilton, Ontario, and I am predominantly a photographer. And you guys can all see my slides right now. It says Danielle Blancher, photographer, film and TV. That Okay, amazing. Thank you so much. So just a bit about me. I'm 41 years old. I have 2 children. And and I am a photographer, sort of videographer and educator. But I'm also a high school dropout. I didn't really, I thought school was really stupid when I was younger. But the irony is that I ended up going to college and university for photography later on as a mature student. So I dropped out of high school and I started like shooting nightclubs. And this was back in the day when if you didn't have a DSLR, the lighting was so low that you had to have a DSLR, and their smartphones weren't really a thing. They weren't evolved to take pictures at nighttime. So I used to do lots of PR promotional photography for nightclubs. And yeah, so that, and then before I went to college, and I wanted to make sure that photography was something that I really wanted to do, and it was also like somewhat lucrative. And I thought, you know, getting paid $150 a night to shoot a club was like the best thing ever. Sorry, I need to see my. Oh yeah, but before, so I was shooting nightclubs, and then I started working as a receptionist at an elevator company, and they had me like doing payroll, but I'm dyslexic, so like I was fucking up the payroll. No one was getting paid properly. I was really bad at the job. I was so bad. I was like a personality hire, I think. But then a headhunter had hit me up, and it was someone from the College of Makeup Art and Design, and so they teach people film and television makeup. And I told him that he had the wrong person. I didn't think I was good enough for the job. And I didn't have the confidence to apply for the job. And then 4 weeks later, he hit me up again. And I said, oh my goodness, oh, you don't, I submitted my resume, you didn't see it. And then I went in, I submitted my resume and I went in for the job interview and I got the job. And that's really where I cut my teeth, because I was working with makeup instructors that had worked in like Milan and Paris, and they didn't accept mediocrity. And they were really, I kind of sucked. At the time, I sucked and they were mean. And I would go home and I would cry because I thought I was going to get fired from the job. But you know what? Working with people that don't accept bad work made me better very fast, actually. And I worked there for 5 years. And so I just had my first child, my daughter, and it was 6 months into my mat leave. And I got a call from a producer. And I had met her, I photographed one day on a film set, and she called me and she said, hey, is this Danielle? Do you still work in film and TV? I'd only worked one day. I'd only met her that one day. And I was like, yeah, of course I still work in film and TV. But I didn't, I only worked one day. And from there, I was able to, I worked on Dino Dana, which that series ran for 3.5 years. And from there, I was able to collect my union days, because to get into IATSE 667, you have to have like 120 days on set and have references from directors of photography. So I was able to get an IATSE 667. And if you don't know what IATSE 667 is, it's basically the International Cinematographers Guild. And if you want to work on tier A sets and have benefits and set wages and pension and things like that, you have to get into the union. And it's a pretty big professional accreditation. There's about 30 photographers in Ontario, and they've accepted about 4 or 5 in the last 5 years. And I was one of the 5 that was accepted. So yeah, and because I worked at that makeup school, now when I go on any film sets, I always know someone in the hair and makeup department. So it's like a really full circle thing for me. So this, I think, is like, I guess it's more like aspirational stuff that I want to talk about, because I think these are some things that I've learned that don't necessarily pertain to photography, but it's sort of like it's my outlook on it. So this is a shot from Women's Fitness magazine. This was published Women's Fitness magazine. This image was also shown in Times Square in January. And I think really great photography. So in this case, it's commercial advertising has an aspirational element, right? So in my mind, my thought process is I try to think about photography that sells an aspirational element. It sells a transformation, right? So I'm selling what people look like at their best. I'm selling freedom, health, vitality, and I think that's what really good branding or commercial photography can communicate. I often get clients that are like, I'm an accountant, so I should be sitting at my desk crunching numbers. And it's not what it's like to work with an accountant or a dietitian. It's the feeling that I want to communicate what's possible once someone hires that person. You get freedom, health, vitality, aspirational elements that the photography tells a story and communicates that. Um, now, Right. So I'm not documenting who you are today. I'm showing who you are at your best. So this image here, this is from a general practitioner in Ottawa, and this is on a beach in Mexico in Playa del Carmen. And she left her practice because she decided that the allopathic system was too rigid, and she wanted to express this element of freedom and rebirth. And she started doing a naturopathic practice. So this is where it stems from, of her sort of being liberated into the sun and in nature. Um, and yeah, I think this is a really strong point, is like, I don't just bring a camera, I try to bring ideas. It's like, yes, I take pictures for money, but I try to bring the concept and the vision and an editorial eye. And I know people say like, okay, so you work in film and TV, why do you shoot branding? Why do you still shoot weddings? And I shoot everything because I photograph people. That's what I do. What's interesting is on film and TV, when film sets and TV sets, is I'm shooting, it's so funny. I'm shooting fake weddings. I'm shooting fake family photos. I'm shooting fake things. Photos, they're actors pretending to like recreate these real moments. So by continuing for me to be shooting weddings and family work for real, it helps me keep sharp, and it helps me be authentic, right? It's about being authentic. And that's, I think, part of the reason why I'm good at film and TV is because I know what real people actually do. I do a lot of prop photography. So when you're watching a movie and someone is going through their wedding album, I shoot a lot of that, or family photos, things like that. So this is a really big thing. When I was younger, I would have the worst fucking shoot of my life. Like I wanted to walk out, and something that's really important in anything that you do is to don't let the bad moments define you, because not everything is a knockout. Like I try my best every day. I try my best every shoot, but to be honest, my best looks different every day. Some days I'm a 12 out of 10. Some days I'm like a 7.5 out of 10. But it's really important to not let bad moments define you. And I think it's like when you have a bad gig or a bad shoot or whatever, I try as fast as possible to shoot the next day, or like as soon as possible to like shake it off me, because it's really hard as a photographer or an artist not to let bad moments define you. When someone says like, I'm not happy, the shoot didn't go that well, or this happened, or the weather was bad, or like it wasn't my best work, you know? So what are you going to do? Like not every shoot is going to be a knockout. And then, okay, this is really important too, as I think like developing your craft, your eye, and what inspires you, right? Because all of my images, in a way, it has a reflection of me. When I work with clients, it's a collaborative process. Like this client here, Anita, she's a fitness instructor. She's won awards, and she runs a Pilates studio downtown Toronto. But she also loves the movie Flashdance. And you know, there's that one scene in Flashdance where she's sitting in the chair and the water comes gushing down on her. I don't have the budget for the water part, but I have the budget for a chair. So that's what we did here. But what I wanted to say is like the yes feeling is when something looks right, it looks right. And I feel like there's a jump in your body, and it's like, oh, trust that, right? So you need to train your eye Start paying attention to what stops you. If you're watching a music video and there's like a frame in that music video and you get that feeling inside, that yes feeling of like, oh, that's really cool. Like pay attention to that, like a frame in a movie, a shoot in a music video, or someone, if you meet someone and you feel like they inspire you, or they're interesting, or there's something going on where you're really interested in that person, like as an artist, and you want to photograph them. That's your eye telling you to take the picture, right? There's so many times you see things and you're like, that would be a great picture. That would be a nice, take the picture, because the yes feeling sometimes, like it'll speak once. The feeling, it'll go away. Yeah. So it's really important, especially when I'm on set or I'm working with other people around me. You can be influenced by others around you, but when you're shooting, it's really important to know when you have the shot or when you're on the right track, and to keep working the shot and to keep going forward. Or if you have an idea and you know it's a good idea, to keep with the idea. Don't let someone say, well, what if we did this and da 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 da, because I feel like everyone always wants to jump in on the process. But if you're sort of the director of it, don't let other people affect your vision. If you know you have that inspirational yes feeling inside. And it's about, yeah, stop second guessing yourself. Stop comparing your shit to other people. If you want to feel bad, compare yourself to other people. That's the fastest way, in my opinion, to feel like shit. Don't compare yourself to other people. So stop guessing yourself as to what is right, and just recognize in your body when you feel that something is right, or feel that something is inspiring you, right? So it took me a really long time to trust that yes feeling. It took me a long time to trust myself, that I knew that something was good, because you'll work with other people and they'll go, I don't like it. Okay, what don't you like about it? I don't know. I just don't like it. And you're like, no, this is good. I know this is good. This shot works. The lighting is good. The pose is good. The angle is good. Like, so you really have to stand strong on that. And once you do, everything gets better. Everything gets better. So yeah, these are, wait, and is this the part of my, okay. And yeah, this is just, and I think too with like photography as well, is I would describe my work as like very intimate and colorful. And I always tell people, if you want to get energy, you have to give energy, right? So when I'm photographing people, I am very like energetic. I'm constantly telling them like, yes, giving them direction. And I just want people to know that, like when I'm shooting people, whether I'm doing an event or a wedding, like if I want people to jump, you have to jump too. If you want someone to pose in a certain way, you have to do the pose too, because it's sort of an ecosystem like that. If you want to get energy from someone, you have to give them energy as well. And something as well, photography is interesting because it can make people, a lot of people aren't used to being photographed, being in front of a camera, right? So you have to make people feel comfortable very fast. So how do you make someone feel comfortable very fast, right? You have to think about complimenting someone, finding something genuine that you like about them and complimenting on it. Or sometimes what I will do often is I share something about myself. I'll tell them like, how's my day going, or what happened on the weekend, or if they have kids and I have kids, I'll say something relatable to them. So it lets them, it sort of starts that energy of giving and taking, right? And I think that's a really fast way to have people open up to you. And it helps, like when you see images like this, like obviously I have a rapport with these people that I'm photographing. So I think it's really important to try to develop a rapport. And in actuality, you should spend more time trying to develop a rapport with your subject instead of just coming in and trying to take their picture. Okay, let's get started. Bop, 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 and start shooting them. Don't do that. Don't do that. People kind of freak out sometimes. So it's good to just like, hey, don't take it too seriously. You know what, the first 20 frames anyway, I'm just practicing. And it helps people loosen up. It just really helps people loosen up. So these are just some BTS stills. This is Sophia Bush. She's a pretty big television actress on the set of Good Sam. These are just some examples of images. that I take for work. Well, this is in Mexico, and this is a law firm. So this is a thing about bringing the ideas. So these are lawyers, and they're very stiff people, and they wanted to have this almost like controlled chaos element about the photograph. And it's like, okay, well, I don't want to say that they're like boring, but like maybe they were boring. Maybe they're boring. Okay, so you have these, like, I don't want to say boring, but these regular people. How do you make them look interesting, right? How do you create something that looks interesting? So we have the dog running across. I added that ball in post-production at a later date, just because it gave the dog some direction. And then throwing the papers in the air is and this sort of, it's like a fun office style photo of sort of controlled chaos. So that is my slide presentation. But now I would like to show you guys some like lighting. Does anyone have any questions right now before I move on sort of to some videos that I'd like to show? But I can't hear anything. Hey.
Hello.
Hey. Okay.
Hi, Danielle. I am loving this. Absolutely.
Are you? Oh my God, thank you so much.
Okay, there's a thing that I live by, and I just saw how it can be applied to photography. When people show you who they are the first time, believe them.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
When the shot shows you what it is the first time,
Mhm.
believe it and
Right.
take a shot. Like
Okay.
your instinct, like you were talking about. Like that's how I related that.
Yeah,
And
oh, sorry, finish your thought. I'm
oh
sorry. Go
no,
ahead.
no, 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 no. That's the thought about that. And the other one is a question. Do you do your own editing?
Yeah, I always do my own editing because I kind of feel like it's like a chef who cooks but doesn't do their own dishes, right? You don't really know the fallout of things, right?
Oh,
So if I'm shooting and I'm blowing out people's foreheads, like their forehead exposure is overexposed, or they're greasy, or there's a cord in the background, there's just like, or there's shit on the floor, there's dust on the floor. I think that's really important to do your own editing. So when you're on location in the studio or wherever, you see these things right away and you want to get it tidied up the first time. That's
okay.
so I always do my own editing.
Okay. And what do you use usually?
For editing,
Yeah.
um, just Lightroom and
Okay.
Photoshop.
Okay. Good. Cool.
Yeah. It's pretty, like, let me hold on. Can we see? So let me, Jorj, I want to share a different screen right now,
Okay.
just to go to I'm sorry, I am not the most savvy.
Okay, so just open up what you want to share on your desktop
Got it.
and then go back to Zoom and click on the share button and you'll see it in the window and double click there.
Share settings. Wait a second. Remove from tube. Oh shit. So if I click, oh, hey, here we go. Okay, cool. So let's do this. This is my iPhoto gallery, and I sort of just want to show you, these are very informal images and lighting setups, just to give you guys an idea of the lighting setup. I always do a very simple one light, main light setup with a reflector underneath when I'm shooting portraits. So I always want to have the light set up this way and then coming down, so it gives you a soft shadow under your jawline. And then typically when I'm photographing someone, I want their eyes or their face at least pointed into the light, and then their eyes sometimes at the lens that way. So let me click. Okay, sorry. Let me move over here. Okay, we are good. Okay. let me open this up. And this is all very informal studio light stuff. So just, this is, it's called Think Tank belt. I love this belt. People ask me a lot about it. Now I used to have the rapid straps, but I find that it almost pulls me forward. I don't like ergonomically, it doesn't feel good on my body. So this is a Think Tank belt. And then I have Peak Design holster clips. They are similar to a spider clip. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Maybe like spider clips.
I mean,
What do you guys use to wear your gear, or do you just hold like a camera around your neck?
Yeah.
That's typically it. So sometimes,
Or a sling, like a side sling.
okay, so the side sling works if you don't
Yeah,
have
this
tits,
thing.
okay? But if you have breast, you can't. Oh, so I like the little hand thing. That's cool too. That's awesome. But when you have like a full-on DSLR with like, you know, a 70 to 200 lens, you can't have, hold on one sec. Let me grab my stuff. I'll show you what I use because I get asked a lot about
'cause
just
I've been looking at those holster things and they look like pretty cool.
I love them
Especially
so
if you're
much.
lumbering around in the woods and you don't want to have something in your hand until you need it.
So this is the belt. It's a Think Tank belt. And you can also, if you have a backpack, like if you're hiking,
Right.
you can put this on your backpack strap. You can take these off because this is Peak Design. And then this belt is Think Tank. So it's two different brands. And it's a very, very thick belt. Like I feel like I could be held from this belt. It's a very thick belt.
Right.
And then for my hand grip is this Peak Design grip. And I like this because I can move around and then I can clip it to my belt and then make adjustments if I need to. I love this so much. It's my favorite. I used to have the rapid strap thing, but I feel like it moves around and I feel like it pulls me forward. Maybe it's like a female thing. I feel like I can just carry the weight easier on my hips. But this would also work if you're hiking and you had like a backpack and you could put it there. Hold on a second. Let me show you. And it clips in. And you could have your camera on like that. You can see it. Maybe you'd have the lens pointed inward. That would be safer. So like that. The studio lights that I use, I've been using the same lights forever. But I'm kind of thinking I should change to Godox, but I've been using Pulse C buff lights for 15 years and I have some of the same Alien B lights I've had for 15 years. I don't even know if I've changed the bulb on some of them. So let me play this video if it'll let me. What's going on here? Video. Hold on. Why aren't we going? It was playing before I stopped it. Sorry, guys.
Would you just click on the video and the prompt will come up?
Why? Okay. Sorry, my computer is okay, cool. So I'm putting on my strap. Super exciting. Click. And then, okay, you see here I have an octabox right there. So the octabox is pointing down. And it's going to, and then I have a tri-reflector. So I love using a tri-reflector. It's the same thing as a bounce. I do like the tri-reflector though, because it has a silver thing and it a silver finish on it. And it gives a really nice luminance to the face and catch lights in the eyes as well. There is another one. I think it's made by Newer or Godox. You know, it's almost like a half semicircle. So that's what I use. And then I have a backlight, which lights the white background. Now that light has a grid on it. So it gives a radial spread to it. Do you guys know what a grid is? Maybe. Okay, awesome. Okay, cool. And so let me just show you. So this is what that shot looks like. Okay. And this is a quick video.
Quick sneak peek edit.
That's my voice. Hi. And this is just how I edit the shot. And as you can see, the reflector kind of gives a really nice little fill back on her, and it fills underneath the eyes there. It's really important when you're photographing women, especially. Sometimes men don't mind, but you need that light to bounce back up and catch under your eyes. I'll show you in a different image. Also, something to take note of, and I only found this out when working with makeup artists, is you see the top of her head right here? She looks like she's balding. She looks like her hair is thinning there, right? Right at the top right there, because that's where the light is. Her head is the closest thing to the light source. So it's going to really show her skin. So when you're editing people, always be mindful of, and I'm doing all of this editing using generative fill, Photoshop, AI. I don't even prompt it. I select it. I just hit, loop it, boom, 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 hit generate, and it takes it away. And then here for her hair, I just darken it. Does anyone have questions about that? Sorry. Does that sort of make sense a little bit? So here's what it looks edited. I took some of the hair away from her neck and I darkened there, and I made the shirt. Right, because you see in the buttons that the clothing is sort of pulling away. It's adding the stress. You want to close that.
Yep. And everything you did, like to the hair, like around the edge of her hair, it softened it. It gave a better depth of field look to it all.
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Which put more emphasis on her eyes and smile.
I like it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just think about working with the makeup artists as well. Like, they're always very mindful of flyaways, right? You don't want to have frizzy hair. It doesn't look good, especially sometimes if you have a rim light on someone, it can accentuate the flyaways. So a rim light can separate you from the background, but then it can also really accentuate your flyaways. But you can easily edit those flyaways out. And I used to do this manually. Right, so you see her hair is thin there. You can see the light through the hair. Select it. I just hit generate AI and it fills the hair. Because before it was like that. You see that it's sort of gappy. It looks stringy. And now it's full. And I love using AI to edit flyaways. And instead of using the stamp tool, which I used to do, select the area on the outside and then stamp around to get rid of the flyaways, I now just use generative AI. I select it and I hit generate. I don't even prompt it, and it takes all the flyaways out.
Yeah, that's really good.
So Danielle, I'm just going to interject here because it's interesting. You're one of the first people, I think, you're one of the first people during this whole thing, not tonight, but since I've been doing this, that has mentioned AI. And I'm glad you did, because there's a lot of, I think, with a lot of photographers, particularly old school photographers, they're not quite into AI yet. So it's something new, and I think that your experience with AI shows that it can be used, and it can be used very effectively and very quickly, rather than the old-fashioned clone and all that kind of stuff.
Very ethically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, my mindset is once I've taken the photo and wrapped up my gear, I'm not making any more money. I'm not making any more money. There's no more money to be made. So what do I want to do? Like, sit at my computer and keep working on the same shit? I'm not making any more money. I need to go make new business now. I need to go new business. So I like to do things as fast as possible. So when I shoot weddings, I use Imagen. I use the culling aspect of it, and I use an AI profile. I do adjust the AI profile to my liking. I knock everything back. I always find it's too strong. The teeth are too white. The skin is too soft. The whites of the eyes are like blue. I don't like it. So I knock it all back. And you know what? One thing I've noticed since implementing AI when it comes to culling and editing with my clients, like let's say I do a shoot and it comes with 10 selects, and they get to pick their own selects. Firstly, I don't like showing anything straight out of camera. It looks like shit. It doesn't, I mean, like, okay, it doesn't look like shit. That's not my I'm trying to sell an aspiration. I'm trying to sell beauty. I'm trying to have them look at their best. So I come home, I download, back up, whatever, upload, run it through AI. AI softens their skin, auto adjust the crop for me, adjust the exposure, It's all the exposures, all the same. It does it in like 20 minutes. I upload the gallery to Pixieset every time the client orders extra prints. Every time they order extra prints, they're going to like it more. They're going to like it more, right? So that's, I like using AI. I don't really do any AI mid-journey stuff. I'm not really into that. But when it comes to Photoshop, it's like, yeah, I get it. Like, I had a meeting with some colleagues and they were talking about turnaround time and how they don't have enough time to do the culling and get back to work the next day and have the client happy. And I said, have you considered using AI? And they were scoffing at me. And these people were in their 60s. And I'm like, okay, like, I'm obviously like, you guys don't have the ears to hear me right now. You can keep bitching about what you want to bitch about, but this works. So,
Okay.
Can I throw something in?
Yeah.
So on my on
tangent.
LinkedIn, there's a company called Blind Spot Studio,
Mhm.
right? And they posted a thing and it said, turn one selfie into a full set of professional headshots styled for everyday use, blah, 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 stunning headshots, and blah, 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 blah. And it's AI is going to do it. You take your own selfie with your phone, right? Hang on. And someone responded, um, basically it was like, so you're trying to put photographers out of business. And the owner of the company responded, well, I'm sorry, you're a photographer. Sucks to be you, basically.
No, it doesn't. Okay, so how I did that. Someone was like, use AI. You're gonna look like money. Da 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 da. So it's on my TikTok. Okay. I don't know if you can see it. Shit. Hold on. Let me work this a little bit better. I look like a fucking man in a suit. Okay. That's
Right.
not
Yeah.
my
But prevention.
jawline. So
But
you go use your AI. You go use your fucking AI. Go for it. Go.
so
Go
this
use
person
your
said,
AI.
so why are you putting professional photographers out of business? And this guy that owns it says, new techs always displaces workers. Nature of business evolution. Bummer if you're a photographer, but this is the world we live in now. I'm like,
If I
what?
was hustling AI, I would say the same thing. I would say the same thing. If that was my app, I would say, oh, boo-hoo, sucks to be you, ciao
Yes.
for now. You know what I mean? But we know that creativity, AI has limitations, right? AI has tons of limitations. Right now,
Oh,
at the
yeah.
moment, like I always can tell when someone has an AI headshot. And in the age of AI, nothing beats authenticity. And it even more and more because of AI, nothing will beat authentic people, authentic images. You know, nothing will beat that because AI makes everyone look like fucking polished and perfect and like
Yeah.
shit with the whitest teeth. And so it's turning people off of
Yep.
it. So don't worry. Like, this is what I'm saying about trust yourself, trust the yes feeling, trust
Yeah.
your no feeling as well. When
Okay.
something is a fucking no, it's a no.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
agree with all. May
Yeah.
I?
Go
I
ahead.
agree with all of. I
Are you
agree
guys
with all
okay
of the
with
above.
cussing? Sorry. Jorj,
No,
I'm sorry.
no.
I didn't tell you I swear a lot. I'm so sorry.
F-bombs are dropping.
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
Photographers swear, and I love them for it. Anyway,
It's an F-stop.
the F stuff.
There you go.
I'm at F8 right now. No,
Yeah.
anyway,
Sorry.
I agree with all of the above.
Mhm.
I do take exception to actual photographic content creation using AI.
Mhm.
You're right. You take the picture and you use what you got. Now you can clean it up with AI. Case in point, I'm notorious for having a dirty sensor with
Oh yeah.
spots on it, In Lightroom, if I've got like a sky shot where you're going to see stuff, the first thing I do is I go in and I use dust removal. That
Mhm.
is done with generative AI in
Mhm.
Lightroom.
Mhm.
You know, things like that. Yeah, absolutely use them. It will improve. If you hit the auto button, like just to see what you're going to get, in Lightroom, that is an AI algorithm used analyzing that particular photograph,
Mm-hmm.
you know? Um, so
Degrees of variation.
yes, yes, exactly, you know?
Like autofocus, for God's sake, that's AI.
Yeah, you could say that for sure.
Yep, 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 yep. Well, it's a big calculus thing, actually. Uh,
Autofocus.
yeah, more than an algorithm. It's
I'm just blind as a bat, so I need it.
You know what? Yeah, sometimes
Pardon me, I'm eating supper.
yeah. Oh, it's all good. What are you having? What are you doing? What are you eating?
I did I say this was a casual thing? It is.
You did say it was casual.
I
Okay.
usually have a glass of wine with me. I've
Okay,
got
I
chicken
can.
thighs, potatoes, and spinach.
Okay. Very good. Very good. I can show you now sort of let me some other lighting setup. So this is another picture I shot for a show called probably shouldn't tell you. I don't know if it's out yet. Anyway, so this is a prop photo, and as you see, I have that's essentially like a collapsible beauty dish, and then two lights on the side. So I gel my lights. You can now get continuous lighting where you can control the color pixels.
Yeah, they're
I don't
wonderful.
do that. So wait. And this is, I want to show you, okay, this is without the bounce. This is why I love using a bounce, because as you can see, under her eyes is so dark. It does not look flattering. This is
And
an
under her
actress.
chin. And
And
under her
under
chin.
it's
Yeah.
I don't mind a bit of chin shadow, right? Because like let's say if you had no definition between your chin and your neck, then you look like you have no neck. So it's nice to get a soft shadow under the chin, but the shadow under the eyes is no bueno. Is bad, bad. So this is the lighting setup. That lighting setup is that. So I have the two gels. I tape gels here. And I also like to blend gels too. So I have blue and red here, which makes that soft pinky purple.
Yep.
And then this one is just like a pinky red gel on that.
That's old school.
Pardon me?
That's old school. Yeah.
Is it? I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
know.
With the
I
new
don't know.
ones, you can pick the color you want.
I know you're right. I don't have those yet though. So I have to just work with what you got. And then so here is the second lighting setup. This is a huge 4-foot umbrella. It's
Oh, wow.
very forgiving and it's
Beautiful.
so easy to work with. Working with big umbrellas with the diffusion, honestly, I could do everything I do almost with this one umbrella. I've had this umbrella. This is a Palsy Buff umbrella. It's a 4-foot umbrella with the diffusion baffing and this tri-reflector. I've had this stuff for 15 years. Not the light. This light's new. This is an 800-watt light, blah, 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 blah. But this tri-reflector, I don't know. It's just sort of my portrait lighting setup. And this is with the reflector. So you see it has that nice luminescent on her, that highlight, and it's filled her shadows in her eyes because it's bounced the light back up on her and lightened the shadows. That sound good?
That's great.
Okay.
So I've got just one more question. I'm going to just jump in here, Danielle. Between continuous lighting sources and electronic flash in the studio, what's your preference?
Yeah, so I really like, so right here, this is continuous lighting, this image that I'm showing right here. What I like about flash is it gives you this beautiful pop and like this really nice brightness and this shininess, and it has this like excited energy about the lighting. But continuous lighting, I do find it's more on trend for more lifestyle, naturally lit, because it doesn't give you that pop of lighting. So I often will blend the two together sometimes. Like I'll use a continuous as my main light and then a strobe as my backlight. Or sometimes I use a strobe as my main. And you know what? I never use a continuous as my backlight because the power outage of my strobe versus my continuous, the continuous I don't know, it's probably like a 500-watt light, and my strobe is like an 800-watt light. So
So next
That's a
question.
fantastic studio
okay,
space.
okay, go.
Yeah, next question. In that last shot that you showed us, I know that whoever was taking the photograph, that's not the final photograph that you're going to be taking of that gentleman. But anyway, you're taking a photograph of that person, plus you've got the background that you have to contend with. And so there's a bit of a balancing act on making sure that the background exposure matches the exposure on the person that you're shooting. Do you moderate your lighting, or do you use your camera settings in order to get that exposure?
So this is where I almost want to lie and say I use a light meter, but I don't use a light meter. And I
Okay,
don't typically use, so in the camera that I have, you have live view, right? You have live view. So if I'm
right.
using it with the continuous lighting, I can adjust the settings and see how the adjustment is affecting the settings.
Yep.
So that's how I use it. Now this guy, he's so close to the backdrop that yeah, you know what? That's a good question. I don't really like, let me see if
Okay.
I have an image of that, of it edited.
If we go back to that shot,
Yes,
to me, it looks like you'd be using something like an 85 or a 70 to 200 there.
I think I'm
And
using an 85.
and
Yeah.
and the way that you feathered the light on the main, um, was the intention to blow out the background to almost black?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, because
I think
yeah, yeah, in that amazing studio space, by the way.
it's not mine. It's Millworks. It's Millworks Creative. It's not mine.
I would kill to have that place.
Well, it's for rent. You can rent it anytime you want.
Wow.
Sorry, that was me laughing. So this is a shot. Yeah, and then this is when they threw up the paper. Whee! And then you're shooting pop, 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 and I'm trying to get it so the paper's not covering his face. That's how I did that photo. I feel like, oh yeah, okay. I want to share another. I feel like I've shared everything off this that I wanted to show you. Now I want to share a different screen. I just want to show you some. Where are we? Oh, we're over here. I want to show you some of the images in video. Can I share my entire screen, or do I just have to, or can I share my entire, how am I doing this? Okay. Well, I want to show you, sorry, George, how would I share my entire desktop? I'm just going to share my entire screen. Okay, sweet. Let's do it like this.
There.
Okay. So this is a video. Let me find the image here. So this is a picture of a guy, his name is X. He's this one right here. And I just want to show you how I shot this. So this is at another studio. This is me laughing. Yay, having a good time. So how I did this one is I have flowers layering, and the concept behind this one was like, he's a very strong, masculine guy, but then you want him surrounded by like flowers and softness. And then you also have to take into consideration like the colors being harmonious. But I use a backdrop stand, and I just got flowers from Michael's, and I rigged it up that way to create depth. So you have the backdrop, then he's a few feet in front of the backdrop, and then there's the backdrop stand, and then I have all the flowers around him. And I was inspired this by a music video that I saw, and I thought it was really cool. And so that's just, and I have him looking up towards the light that way. And if you want to ever have like show lots of muscle definition, you never really want to shoot someone straight on. You always have the light up high because it's casting, and then you have that fall off, or you have it off to the side. that. And then I wanted to show you, okay,
Because the
so
shadow gives definition.
yeah, because if you had it like flat on,
Right.
the light would fill the shadow, but if you sort of cut it on the side, then it leaves shadow. And that's, I think that's really things you can learn very fast if you're using continuous lighting, or if you are using strobes, always have your modeling lamp on so you can see how the light is sort of coming out of the light modifier. So this was an image that I saw. It was basically a drawing that I saw of this chick, wearing this sort of with a gun and a balaclava. So this video, I should just run it with the volume on. Let me start from the top here. But so you think about complementary colors or contrasting colors. So you have a cool blue. You have a cool blue, and the strip light is really good for lighting strips. So you can use a strip light really well for hair lighting, or to light someone on a side, or to light just like accentuate something. And then my main light, I gel it with a warm gel, because pretty much everyone looks good in warm lighting. But when you do use gels, you have to think about color theory and playing with, either you do a monochromatic, so everything is warm or everything is cold, or you have your main light warm and then your accent light or your second light, your fill light, to be cold, and it gives that color contrast. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So that's how I did that one. And then, oh yeah, you guys already saw this one. Okay, cool. And this is Stelco. There you go again. This is my 4-foot lighting backdrop. I'm lighting people. I have Oscar, my assistant. He's holding a bounce. It's a reflector card. It's a piece of foam core. And just shooting people on location. Oh wait, no, it wasn't Stelco. It was Lico Steel. So yeah, I think that's sort of all of my images and things that I have lined up to share. And if does anyone have any questions? Jorj, do you have any questions?
No, I'm just, that's a lot of information for me to digest,
I'm sorry.
I'm sure for everybody else.
So
No, no, no,
sorry.
this is all good, because we
You got
are
the whole
all,
course. Yeah.
yeah, we are all photographers here, so
Mm.
we can digest it pretty quickly. And not that everything applies to us, because, if you're a wildlife photographer, then you don't have the option of posing it. But still, there is the light directionality that you have to deal with, whether it's wildlife or whether it's in studio or whatever it happens to be. That's quite important. And also, I like the idea of you talking about how you carry your camera on that belt, that you're going to hang it over your shoulder, you can take it around your waist, and I think for a lot of wildlife
100%.
photographers that would be helpful. But
What did you say, Scott? What did you say?
100% quick draw.
Oh,
What's the gear?
yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, the gear is really important. I know you touched on a lot of things, like the different types of lights and the different types of reflectors that you use. I'm jealous of that 4-foot umbrella. We didn't have a 4-foot umbrella when I had my studio, but we had huge soft boxes that we built, because it was the studio was stationary. We had a cyclorama, so we just actually built a huge softbox that had several flash heads in it, and that worked out fine for us. But when it came to specifically showing, muscle texture and things like that, yeah, then we had to have directional lighting, and in some cases we even used specular light and not bounce light, uh, and in order to get that hard shadow.
Mm.
And that seemed to have worked. Anyway, that's great. That's great what you showed us, and how your approach to photographing models. I think that one of the things that you really haven't touched on in great detail, and I know we're getting a little bit short on time, but I think it's important to talk about how you deal with models. Now, from a female to female or female photographer to male perspective, I can see that it works very easily. On the other hand, as a male photographer, um, my whole thing was about making the model as comfortable as possible. I very rarely ever shot a model alone unless I really knew that model very well, only for comfort's sake.
I think that's a really good point because when I was younger in my 20s, I did have a couple male photographers. They're like, I'd love to photograph you. And then I get into the studio and they're like, can you take your top off? Seriously, that's happened multiple fucking times. So I think for a man, if you communicate to the woman, hey, I'm not going to try to get you half naked right off the hop. That's always something.
Yeah.
But even so, I think with women or working with men or people, you have to give them like an illusion of control, or you have to give them some form of control as a collaboration. You have to let them feel like they are in control in some way of the process. So whether that be making an inspiration board together, talking about like the lighting, showing reference photos. This is what the shoot is going to look like. This is what I want. Now, if someone trusts you, they will let you essentially objectify them. And I don't mean that in a negative way, right? There's nothing wrong with being photographed in a sexy way. There's nothing wrong with being sexy. But if it sort of if it comes out of left field all of a sudden, and you weren't expecting the shoot to go in this direction. Actually, what's interesting is HBO has an intimacy coordinator. And what is an intimacy coordinator? They coordinate the intimate scenes in the shows because directors were like, okay, now take your top off. And the actress is like, that's not in the script. And they're like, I know, but I feel like the scene, if this was happening in real life, you'd have your shirt off, or you would be doing this, or get on top of him, that type of thing, right? So now they have intimacy coordinators who help coordinate the intimate scenes. There's nothing wrong with being photographed sexy. There's nothing wrong with any of that. But I think as a male photographer, yeah, you do sort of have like a stigma or a hurdle that you may have to overcome. But now I know lots of guys that just photograph like babes all day. So once you just get a couple of women to trust you, then it's pretty easy because women want to have sexy photos of themselves. If that answers your question.
Okay. Thank you very much.
I
So
have
yeah.
another one, if I may.
Okay. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
I've always had a dream of being the photographer on a movie set.
Okay.
And I've read about certain famous ones, like in Los Angeles, etc., that have photographed and produced the poster photos, like for various films, and they're amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and you actually do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So the question is, where you are photographing a set where you're not the person that has control over lighting and mood, etc., where the director does, or the stage manager, or whoever's doing it.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of a challenge does that present for your photographic needs? And do you talk to the director or the producer about what they want before, which will give you an idea of lens choice, of all kinds of things?
So this happens all the time. And to be honest, I kind of love it if someone else is taking control and I just have to focus on the lighting and the focal length and making sure things are in focus. I really enjoy working with directors because they're like, okay, this is what we're doing. This is what the image is going to be used for. And I shoot tethered to my computer. Like I have a cart.
Yeah,
and I
that's another thing I was going to ask you.
Oh, I always shoot
tethered.
tethered. I always shoot tethered. I always shoot directly to my computer. Always. I have my tether cable hooked up to my computer. I see the images right away.
Okay.
Always.
But you know you're going to be standing like on set. Yeah.
Oh, even, yeah. So I basically give the director the laptop or the screen, or sometimes I have my laptop towards me, and then I have an HDMI cable with another monitor towards them.
Yep. Yep.
And I just shoot. And if he says nothing, I keep going.
And an assistant carrying the laptop around for you while you're walking around shooting.
I typically have a really long tether cable and I put my laptop, I have like a utility cart, and I just sort of wheel it close to me. And I
That is
just
so
make
cool.
sure I look at it all the time.
That is so cool.
Yeah. But often too, though, these are composites. So I'm shooting someone on a white background and then
Yep.
they make a composite of it. And I don't do the editing for that. They have someone in the graphics department, you know, add Paris or Milan behind them, or an Eiffel Tower or clouds, or like, you know, graphics around it. I don't do that. I'm just shooting them on a white seamless, and I have them looking right, looking left, looking happy, looking like they're thinking, you know, like very, and then they take the cast and they make a composite of it.
Okay. Okay. Is some of the shooting done like during the actual acting sequences, or is it all posed?
So yeah, that's essentially like still photography, right? And so those images are being shot during the scene.
Okay.
Sometimes you take it, so you shoot, you have your camera on silent,
Oh
and
yeah.
um, you know, I'm like right in between, you know, A cam or B cam right beside them, and I'm shooting exactly what they're shooting. I'm not talking. I'm trying to stay out of the actor's eye line. That's a really big thing. I've been kicked off set a few times because if someone fucks up their lines, it's never their fault. It's your fault. And you gotta go. Okay. And so since they can't kick off like the A cam or the B cam, I'll be asked to leave. So sometimes I can shoot during rehearsal, or I'll ask them just to run that one line, and I shoot that. But those images, like, they're good, but I don't have any like creative control over it. And like, yeah, I can say that I worked with like Patrick Dempsey, but did I really like have a moment with Patrick Dempsey? No, I'm just shooting what is being filmed, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's still a good gig though. It's a good gig.
Yeah.
I love it. It's a good gig.
I would love it. I would just be in heaven.
Well, listen, this has been fantastic, and I'm sure that there's, you know what? I think I even talked to you about this, Danielle, and I don't know how you feel about coming back sometime to
Oh
talk
yeah.
about different facets of things with our little group here. And I noticed that we've had a number of people on YouTube too, so that's good because that's, you know, it's being broadcast, and I don't know if you guys knew this or not, and I don't even know, Danielle, if I told you, but I think I might have. We are broadcasting to YouTube at the same time we are simultaneously broadcasting to LinkedIn.
Mm.
So this is all on LinkedIn as well, but I don't have you know, my LinkedIn open, so I have no idea if how many people look at it or how that works. I've never
Yep.
done LinkedIn. I think I've done it once before, so I'm doing it again today. I'm going to be doing an experiment in the future where I'm going to be broadcasting simultaneously to YouTube, LinkedIn, on Zoom, of course, and to um, let's see, Instagram,
Nice.
because
Okay.
this particular software just came out about a month or so ago with the ability to, you see we've got two windows open right now side by side. You're here, I'm here. On Instagram we'd be one over the other. We'd be on top of
Mm-hmm.
each other because it's vertical, and it'll do that automatically if it knows it's going to Instagram, which is
Gotcha. What's the
cool.
software?
The software is Ecamm, ECAMM.
ECAMM. Cool. I'll
Yeah,
check it out. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, George, I think this is really cool. And so everyone here is one of your students?
Uh, Not everyone, no. Scott isn't. Scott Simon's,
Formerly.
no. And,
Oh, this one.
pardon me, sorry.
I'm formerly.
Years ago, I was.
Well, there are a few
So then
students here.
question, okay, you had mentioned having me come back. Do you guys want me to talk about posing and how to pose women, or do you want to learn more about lighting setup and gear? What do you want to know?
Flash.
Lighting would be useful for me.
You want to know more lighting? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I would like to know both lighting more and posing as well, just because it just kind of feels like, well, why one or the other when you can have both? Because I feel like they could, and you know, maybe it could be like a 2-part series, you know, back to back, you know, part 1 lighting, or posing part 2, or the other way around. I figure that if you could do that, I figure if you were going to do something about like posing, it'd be kind of interesting because, you know, how do you get a good pose? How do you, you know, sure, you know, it's just do this, right? Or that, but it's more to it. You know, how do you get it in dimensions? It's like and so I feel like, you know, just like, I think there's something we could learn about it, basically, on ideas. And I was in a portrait lighting photography workshop on Sunday where it had a booklet on posing ideas, and I want to know your perspective on that, perhaps.
Okay, I know one thing. When we were kind of doing the rehearsal, Danielle and I were talking about, you know, what she's going to be talking about tonight. And one of the things she mentioned is, you know, even detailed things like arm placement in order to get, you know, well, for me, it's triangles. I always work with triangles when I'm working in groups or even with posing. And of course, the S curve when it comes to females. But, you know, there's just so many things that you can incorporate into posing that make it a little bit more dynamic. And one of the things that I have found, and I'm sure that you know, any of you who have worked with professional models like Danielle have found is that models will snap into it just like that. They know what to do. They know what looks good. They've had a lot of experience. But it's the inexperienced models that you need to be able to direct properly. And Danielle's idea of you do the pose and say, do this. And then they get the idea. They say, oh, yeah, okay, you want this head tilt, that head tilt, you know, that kind of thing. So, yeah, that kind of works. Are you writing this down, Danielle?
No, I missed a gig for tomorrow. I just got a text. They crewed up already.
Oh boy.
Okay.
I was like, fuck. It's okay though.
Okay. So anyway, yeah.
Yes. It's the whole you have to give energy to get energy. So if
Yeah.
you want someone to do something, you have to do it. And if you say, step your left foot back, they're going to step their right foot back. That's just what people do. Okay.
Yeah.
And then you say, no, your other left. You know what I mean? So if you stand beside them and you say,
Army left.
yeah, the other left. Exactly. So, yeah, I do a lot of stuff about, I could teach about portrait lighting, but specifically with posing, I pose women. I think that's a really big forte of mine, posing women so that they feel good. And just that. So I could come back and talk about that if you're into that, if you want.
Well, that's great. So that's something we have to look forward to. And I have to say that, you know, among presentations, you've probably been one of the most energetic, prolific presenters we've had. And
Thank you.
I think we all appreciate that. So I'm going to call it a night, and thank you very, very much for being on here for all of us.
Thanks.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
It's my pleasure.
And I would like to personally invite you to my talk next week, same time, same channel.
Oh, are you doing the one with the waves in Lake Erie?
Yep.
Ugh, so cold.
Well, yeah, freezing actually out there at times. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much, Jorj. I really appreciate it.
Before we leave,
where is Millworks? It's in Ancaster, but now they have their second location in Dundas. So the image that I took was at the old Millworks, but it's owned by the same person, Danielle Rizzo, and she's now located in Dundas. Steve, I found getting the models to pose a certain way was always a challenge for me. If you're a man and you're trying to get women to pose a certain way, it can be a bit of a challenge. Being a female definitely has an advantage when working with women. Also, being a female can have an advantage working with men too. You just sort of know how to like zhuzh it, you know?
Yeah, and I think you have to
flattering them.
Yeah, well that plus you can't
spell.
Yeah, you can't be ashamed of yourself because there's many times I've struck poses that my assistants in the background are going, you know, because I'm saying to the model, do this. you know, and they're looking at me and they're saying, "Oh, okay." But
I
but
heard something like being willing to embarrass yourself is the bare minimum entry fee. If
yes,
you are not willing to embarrass yourself, you're not here to fucking play. You have to bare minimum willing to embarrass yourself is the entry fee. So
there you go.
that's what's up.
I think we'll end it with that. That's a good thing to end it. Everybody here can go out right now and embarrass themselves.
Willing to take a chance. That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying professionally. Don't just like you know what? Maybe have fun with it. Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know. Okay, thank
right.
you. Thank you so much, everyone. I
Thank
really do
you.
appreciate it. Thank you. This has been
Okay.
fun for me as well. So thank
Thank
you
you.
so
And
much.
again, you guys, thank you for coming into the Zoom. I hope you enjoyed it. And come back next week. Watch Daryl
Oh,
take
yeah.
photographs of waves.
I'll be
And,
here, Daryl. I'll be here next week.
Excellent.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right,
Yeah,
that's
thanks,
great.
Talk. Great talk.
Okay.
Yeah, great.
Okay.
Have a good night,
Yeah.
guys.
Good
Yeah,
night,
bye-bye.
everybody.
Yeah.
Bye.
Quit Zoom.
Naked.